So today on the Warhammer Community site, we get a look at what's in the box for the Kill Team Into Dark, and yeah, it is pretty darn interesting. So we get a look at the box art. Pretty cool. It's Kill Team. It's box art. We get a brief overview of like the whole setup with all the models and the terrain models. I'm pretty excited about. There's a nice little video in the article. Already checked it out. Watch it. So the breachers. Look at these models. These are pretty darn cool. Yeah, we've seen these models. We haven't seen these ones. And I definitely dig the look of these guys. These ones are pretty darn interesting. The breachers, like they have this kind of, deep sea kind of, exploration kind of vibe going on. And I'm into it. It's definitely very 40K. I love the fact that we're getting different things within the Imperium and how, things look in the Imperium. I also think that they do this so that it helps tie in some of the other things that may come along in the future. For example, like Leagues of Votann, where they basically have a shared aesthetic style with, old human tech. And I think we see that with these kinds of releases. Of course, we get the cat once again, and we get the cat operator, apparently. I like this one here. I like Buddy with the shield. That's really cool. That's the way you should mount a gun to a shield and, breach, apparently. And then, of course, he's followed up by a guy with a multi-laser. I think that is hilarious. Little feller with a multi-laser. But it makes sense. I mean, like, realistically, I think it would look more appropriate if the multi-laser was more of like a laser driller. You know what I mean? Like they're breaching hulls and cutting down doors, and you know what I mean. More utility, less military, right? I think that would be more appropriate because I mean, like the overall aesthetic of the breachers is obviously the the dive bell helmet and shoulder apparatus, as well as like the big heavy boots, which I would assume is for like magnetic, right? Because like they're supposed to be going into space hulks and derelict spaceships and all of these things. And I mean, you can see the story that the uniform tells you, and it informs you of these choices. And yeah, I mean, like even Buddy here on the left, he's got like that bomb specialist type of armor on, like that flak jacket or whatever, right? And then of course Buddy with his chain fist. I think that is really, really interesting. I would always assume, though, if you had a chain fist, that you would have to reinforce that into the torso of whoever was wielding it, right? I would assume. But then again, it's 40K. It doesn't have to make sense. But yeah, those are the breachers, and I'm definitely in for these breachers. I think they're pretty darn cool. Next, we have a look at the Far Stalker Kinband brand. I can read. And these new Kroot models, I dig these as well. These are just really, really cool looking. We got the Shaper and, I don't know, some kin next to him, I guess. And then we get into some other ones here, like these guys with bionic eyes. Sharpshooters, I don't know. He's got like the Wookiee bowcaster. Man, like, they're just too much fun. Kroot is just really, really fun. I like this sharpshooter with the goggles on top. I really like that one. This other guy screaming away as he's blasting away. I find it interesting, though, looking at Buddy with the, gun pointing kind of forward. The gun barrels aren't drilled. This one here, I have no idea who this guy is. He looks like some sort of melee specialist. He looks like he's got a tomahawk and a blade, and he's getting in your face, and he's also got he's bringing his doggy with him too. So we've seen the tracker, but also like really dig this guy with the heavy weapon in the background. This is like Wookiee Bowcaster 5000 kind of thing. This is the BFG of Kroot weapons, I think, and I dig it. I like it. And the thing that I get really excited about is a future release for Tau, and we see some of these Kroot units appearing on the tabletop, which would be really, really awesome. And with previous kill teams, they've been like, basically they can configure them as regular troop or as these kill team specialists. And I find that very, very interesting because Does this mean we're going to get regular kind of Kroot down the road? Is a Tau release imminent? I really like this guy here. Now, I have a question about this guy. Who has the one-eyed skull? See the belt? He's got a one-eyed skull hanging from his belt. Who has the one-eyed skull? What alien race is that? Or is that a race we have not encountered? Or did he kill one of the X-Men? I don't know. But yeah, Kroot, bounty hunter looking dude. He looks badass. And yeah, and of course he's got the cute little doggy. He's a 100% good boy. I don't know what breed he is. Then we move on to the terrain. And the terrain, yeah, I mean, like, it's not exactly as expecting. I was kind of expecting something that looked more like the Zone Mortalis or the terrain from Necromunda. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting that. And actually, I'm kind of glad that it isn't that. That it is something different. And I imagine all of the Necromunda and terrain builders out there and everybody who's into 40K or even in any sci-fi universe is eyeballing up all these bulkheads with the little doors and all the little doodads. And yeah, and it looks like the doors open, which is awesome. I like when they include these kinds of elements into the terrain and into, you know, various elements, even vehicles and stuff. I love when, like, the tanks, the doors can actually open, like the Land Raider. When that Land Raider first came out, and you could draw that bottom arm or the bottom plate of the door opening come out, and the top opened as well. Man, that blew my mind. That was amazing to me way back in the day. Of course, when the Land Raider came out. But anyway, we're not talking Land Raider. We're talking Space Hulks, apparently. But yeah, I mean, like, it looks cool. It looks a little sparse when you first look at it. I mean, I don't know if this is all the terrain, and there's also no little bits and bobs, like little, you know, things to hide behind and stuff like that. But again, I mean, we're just getting a first look at this thing here, and I mean, some of these other things, the pipes and stuff like that, maybe these are more designed to be like those line of sight breaking kind of elements around corners and long straightaways and that kind of stuff, right? The bulkheads, the columns, it looks like it's all this kind of locking system. So you basically just, and I imagine these are probably solid plastic. I don't really see these being multi-part, maybe other than maybe one side is detailed and it's hollow on the inside and you just glue the two halves together. I don't know, but yeah, it is very, very interesting. I'm kind of excited for this, and I love the open doors and stuff. And then, of course, we get the rule books, and it looks like it's coming with the core rulebook and the Into Dark campaign book. With the core rulebook, I'm going to assume it's going to have all the rules for these kind of, you know, interior fighting, because usually everything in Kill Team, right, is kind of based outside kind of thing. Whereas with this, it feels like obviously it kind of requires a different rule set. Bit more zone mortalis. Everybody who's familiar with zone mortalis rules, you know, fighting in corridors and stuff like that, you know, you're going to be, I think, very comfortable with this. And yeah, so that's the Kill Team, man. I mean, this is pretty darn exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really excited about these Kroot. These Kroot are really, really cool, and I'm excited for what this means for the future, because I'm very curious if these Kroot sprues are just to assemble just these one-off models, or is it like what we saw with the Void Scarred and the Traitor Guardsmen and everything like that, where basically they can be configured as either the specialists or for regular 40K games. I am curious to see. The Breachers here, I don't really see them being a multi-part kind of, you know, deal like to make Imperial Guard. But then again, who knows? They could be. I have no idea. I just don't see like the boots transferring over to other things and, you know, stuff like that. But I mean, for anybody who wants to create scenarios like inside Space Hulks and stuff like that for regular 40K, or even Necromunda type scenarios where, you know, Breacher crews, I don't know, on vacation for some strange reason, or I don't know, make up your reasons. But anyway, yeah, that is it. That's just my initial thoughts on this new Kill Team. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about the rest of you. Just from the model perspective, if you're only interested in the models, you might want to wait until the boxes or the units are sold separately. And if you can't wait, well, then, you know, pick up the box, because it comes with terrain, comes with 2 gangs and rules, and it looks like it's a all-in-one box set. So, yeah, I think it's pretty darn interesting. Let me know down below what you guys think, and yeah, big thanks to my patrons for making these videos possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below. You'll be taken off to a magical website called Patreon, where there's various tiers of support, and a huge, huge thank you to all my patrons for the continued support, and all you brand new ones. Take care of your brushes, they'll take care of you, and I will see you guys later.